Oh, hey, it's me again. Except it's you again. And I don't look so good this morning. I was thinking of something because I was playing around with AI tools because, if I'm going to say such negative things about AI, I should know a little bit more about it. And one of the things that was really bothering me was an interaction I had the other day on LinkedIn where seemingly this individual was talking about the importance of college and how it intersects with working, and then they were talking about how it wasn't really all that important, and I agree with them sometimes. And then they proceeded to tell me, I've seen resumes that are 24 pages long, and I was like, you mean an academic CV? And I looked at this guy's working career. I was like, there's no scenario where someone with an academic CV should be applying to a position that you offer. Academic CV is fundamentally different than a regular working resume. You're a psychopath who obviously had the original post written by AI, and your personal beliefs are strange, and mentally your comprehension skills are not fantastic. And I didn't say that to him, but it occurred to me. And then things started going in my brain. Things started going in my brain. And I was like, well, what other things can I use AI for that, because I was thinking about that academic thing. The academic CV thing really bothered me. I was like, why would someone with an academic CV apply to a regular job? You have an academic CV, you're applying to academic jobs. This guy is a manager for fucking aerospace. He claimed Boeing at the time, a company that I don't say the name of. But this guy's claim. So I was like, why would I apply to a Boeing engineer or operation role if I have an academic CV? So the rant got stuck in my head, and I go, okay, academic uses of artificial intelligence, or academic usage of language learning models. That should be really good, right? I should be able to, parse through huge amounts of texts and ask questions, and it should just be able to just give me the answers, right? It should be able to just cite the sources, because this is a piece of technology. It just be able to read through the stuff real fast. Have you ever tried to use AI with copywritten academic text? Hell, have you ever tried to use AI with a version of the Bible? The Bible. A 2,000-year-old book, the Bible. Yeah. I had written a paper in college. It was actually my undergraduate thesis. We had to do undergraduate theses. That's how brilliant I was picking a college. And for my undergraduate thesis, I wrote about existentialism as an intersection to a certain religious quote. And so I thought to myself, well, surely AI would be able to go through the Bible of all things, this ancient book, and be able to parse out certain information for me, right? I should be able to be able to cite, AI should be able to go through, grab the quotes, and I could cite those quotes. Nope. Certain versions, such as the NRSV, are considered copywritten works, which means that a language learning model can't cite them. So my ass would still have to go into the book and do the actual research. The thing that AI is supposed to be there for, to make things easier, I can't do that shit. So, what the fuck? So what is it actually going to help? Is it just going to regurgitate information? How would it actually be able to do research if it can give me vague things, I guess. It can give me vague passages. It can summarize things, but then those summaries could be flawed. And in the case of the experiment that I did of, all right, well, I want all these quotes related to the topic of existentialism, it just goes, well, I don't know. You're a language learning model. What? You can't just return, I don't know. That's stupid. So, that's part one of this. is, oh yeah, no, yeah, you use AI for research. It can't quote academic resources. It can't quote copywritten text. You still have to do the research. And in today's day and age, it's becoming more and more difficult to come across those things on the internet because AI is being pushed on you. So it's becoming this negative feedback loop of cited sources. I will give you an example. I saw all over the social networks, I saw all over the internets that a commentator during the World Cup referred to the phrase "end of the first quarter" during a game. And I knew that this occurred. I had no video proof of it. I had no, So I wanted to know if an AI language model would be able to find me the source of this occurring. Would you like to know how many language models were able to give me a website that proved that this event happened, to the extent that the AI language model could tell me who, what, and when? The answer is one. One of the language models that I used, of several. One. Claude was the only one that was able to tell me that it was Alexi Lawless being ironic during the Mexico-South Africa game. The remainder of the language learning models cited social media posts, and then when pressed on the issue said, well, social media posts aren't really a good citation. ChatGPT actually got itself into a logic loop of, well, the only sources I can find are social media, but social media aren't good sources. But the only sources I can find are social media. But literally, it got into a logic loop, which is something that I didn't know AI could still do. But I was really good at it. I did it in under 3 prompts. So here's the thing, right? When doing research or doing critical thinking skills, when we're using our tools, right? When we're using the tools that are available to us, we have to be aware of 2 things in reverse order. Number 1, hallucinations on factual events that AI apparently struggles with unless you know. So, like, you would have to know the thing before you use the language model for the thing. You would have to, like, be certain that something happened. And if you weren't certain, it would just hallucinate to agree with you. And if it wasn't hallucinating to agree with you, it would just make up sources to prove that the thing happened. Because so many people on the internet have written that the thing happened. But the thing is that so many people wrote on the internet that a thing happened that I had to get it was like a Yahoo Sports page. Like it was a Yahoo web page that was the thing. Claude just ran through. It's like, yeah, no, it says this on Yahoo. It's like I Googled it, and not once did it say, give me a Yahoo Sports thing. It's like, yeah, no, it's right here. Dude, like, it's right here. But the rest of the language models are just like, well, yeah, no, it happened. We know it happened. Okay, so who said it? It happened. Actually, sorry, the ChatGPT thing, the thing that sent me, the ChatGPT one was the one that sent me. It was just like, no, it happened. So I guess, well, who said it? Thinking, it happened. Here's the social media posts. Oh, by the way, you shouldn't trust social media posts. But the only proof I have is social media posts. Language. Anyways. That's number 1. Number 2 is, and I talked about this, I don't remember if I talked about it in the last video I made about AI, but it's relevant to this video. A language model is limited in scope by copywritten work. So typically the work that would be the most well thought out and the most researched and the most reliable, it's limited on what it can use that resource for. So you're essentially, as the second example, the one I talked about first this time around, as the first example showed us, a language learning model is most likely to pull a Reddit post or a Twitter post than it is to pull up a Wikipedia search. like it, and if you actually do have to talk to a model about, be it some sort of scholastic thing, it's going to be horrendously limited on what it can quote or tell you. So, what we're essentially at now is Google, the original search engine, is drastically worse at giving you results. It's pushing AI searches on you, which the AI searches are terrible at if depending on what you're searching for. If you're searching for anything other than just casual slop, AI is dog shit. It's terrible. And the final thing I'll say here, I've been ranting for about 10 minutes. The final thing I'll say here is another historical event, another historical figure. So I did I want to look at, I want to look in this religious book. It returns, well, that's copyrighted. So, we could pull from another one that isn't copyrighted. But it's like, yeah, but I want to pull from this one for scholastic reasons. Well, I can summarize things for you. Okay, whatever, dude. Second one. Hey, I know this event happened. Tell me about this event. Oh, yeah, I know it happened. Okay, but, who said it? When? Give me details. Nah. Here's the final one. Here's the final one. Abolitionist John Brown. Abolitionist John Brown. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media about John Brown that describe John Brown as a hero and a revolutionary. And it's on YouTube for free. Throw on Ken Burns' Civil War, The Causes. It's the first part. And it's been re-uploaded, totally free, HD. And if you watch the Ken Burns documentary, which is, I don't love the way Ken Burns makes documentaries, but from a scholarly perspective, it's probably the best way to make a documentary where you're primarily focused on primary sources. Historians are quaternary sources sometimes at best. Historians are, yes, they have access to primary sources, and yes, they have access to secondary and tertiary sources, and they become experts of those things, but then you're asking that person to recall those things. Anyways, the point of this is so you're listening to the quotes of John Brown, and you're looking at it, and then you watch a certain television series that depicts John Brown, and here's the thing about John Brown: as much as you can understand the actions he took, and as much as you could agree with his position that slavery wrong, that should be a pretty slam dunk opinion for people to have, he was still a sadistic murderer, and by modern standards would probably be considered a lunatic, quasi-prophet, Christo-fascist. So if we looked at it from a modern lens, the guy was a crazy Christian zealot. But I see on Instagram people talking about, well, you can't say that about him. He's a hero. So what do you think AI is going to give me if I start researching John Brown? Is it going to tell me that he was a 20-time failed businessman who claimed to speak directly to God himself? Is it going to mention that the 5 quote-unquote slavers that he chopped up just happened to not be anti-slavery? And people who were pro-slavery couldn't be Christians and therefore deserve to die? Is it going to tell me the things in his words, or is it just going to give me social media slop because that's free and not copyrighted? What do you think? Actually, that's going to be... Actually, no. Because I'm going to give you different homework. Because I've seen this commercial. I've been watching just about every World Cup game besides the one that's on right now because Portugal's boring. if I want you to research using only AI, according to this commercial. So if you don't know about this commercial, you wouldn't know. I want you to research how Jamaicans invented punk music, because that's the claim made by this commercial. So using only AI, research the claim that Jamaicans invented punk music. That's your homework. Have fun with that shit.